Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Sonic the Hedgehog Imposter Syndrome Issue 2. When we last looked at our heroes, we started to see kind of what Starline's grand plan has been ever since the aftermath of the Metal Virus saga, specifically to sort of upend the cycles of storytelling inherent to the Sonic universe. Eggman has a plan, Sonic and the gang rush in and save the day, and everything kind of reverts to the status quo. And what he wants to do is get rid of Eggman for a while. I'm not quite sure what exactly the getting rid of Eggman does. But also get rid of Sonic and the gang and replace them with imposters, basically. Surge and Kitsunami, who are sort of fill in the roles of Sonic and Tails, but also allow Starline and eventually Eggman to sort of shape the world as they see fit. But things aren't going well for Starline. Surge is very, very ready to just go ahead and start fighting, start their plan to, take out Sonic. But also, she and Kit are starting to sort of realize something's not quite right with their situation. They don't really have a reason for why they're doing things, and that's starting to worry them. But Starline's able to control them for now, thanks to his hypnosis, and he's tricked them into thinking they want one more test before they start to go after Eggman and Sonic proper. So that's where we start off with Imposter Syndrome Issue 2. Our cover here is Kit sort of attacking Tails with his water tails. I'm sure we won't see that this issue, given they're supposed to kind of be stealthy right now. Anyway, we have our story so far, which is basically the Operation Remaster stuff, an introduction to Surge and Kit, and Starline having to constantly reboot Surge and Kit. We're not introduced to Surge's growing existential crisis, nor her hypnosis resistance here, but those both seem important notes to keep in mind going forward. Our roll call is just Starline, Surge, and Kit. Of course, no other real main characters here. Anyway, we open on another video chat with, or another video recording with Starline. I have tested Surge and Kitsunami as best I can. Now we come to the final check before initiating Operation Remaster. We must be exceedingly careful. If this fails, there will be no second chances. We get a quick flashback to bad guys. Previously, I had used an override program to take command of Dr. Eggman's forces. However, it relied on the network's permissions to exploit backdoors into the Eggnet. For my endgame, I must be able to overpower all of Dr. Eggman's control directly. Okay, so we're still I'm still sort of questioning what exactly is his Eggman goal here. If he just takes out Sonic and then presents his sort of would-be adversaries to Eggman, as, hey, these guys will put up a fight, but they'll always lose to you, that seems to kind of be the best outcome. I'm not quite sure why getting rid of Eggman is even helpful to Starline's plans, unless I'm missing something here. Anyway, I chose to turn Eggbase Sigma into my own headquarters. Tonight, I'll be targeting Eggbase Alpha for my final test. So that seems to be Eggman's, at least first egg base. That presumably is a little bit more important than Sigma is. But yeah, okay. So that's just a bit of exposition there. And we see Starline, he's overlooking Eggbase Alpha. Excuse me. He's getting kind of nervous, and Surge comes up. You look like you're about to pop a blood vessel, Doc. And Starline just holds out his hand. Kitsunami, map. Yes, sir. Oh, that's neat. Kit can, make a map of the egg base with just his water. That's kind of cool. Anyway, Starline tells the duo, we will enter on the south end. I will infiltrate the western control tower and upload the command program. Surge, you'll be escorting Kitsunami to the eastern comms tower to ensure no alerts are broadcast to the Eggnet. So that seems to be putting Surge in a more support role than I think she is quite happy with. So we'll see how she handles that. Anyway, Kit then questions, what about the North Tower? A Wi-Fi tower separate from the Eggnet. exclusively for gaming. The doctor's ping is immaculate. Okay, so Eggman is also a gamer. I don't think we ever knew that, but that's certainly something. Anyway, Surge then makes the exact same sort of complaint that I was bringing up earlier. Back it up a minute, Doc. I had to babysit my support unit. And Kit kind of chimes in. That's right. She's the hero. She should have the important jobs. And Surge snaps, even though Kit's sort of backing her up. Nobody was talking to you, Drippy. Sorry. And Starline sort of turns the screws in, going back to his lie from last issue. Why are you objecting now? This is what you wanted, remember? Starline is kind of a gaslighter. I never really called that out before, but that's definitely what he's doing. Very manipulative of him. Anyway, Surge is clearly sort of kind of disturbed by that. Yeah, and no. But she sort of leaves it be, and Starline activates the flight part of the Tricore. Now then, to work. And Kit, holding on to Surge, and Starline both fly over the walls of Egg Base Alpha and get to work. The two teams separate. I do also like we get the blue aura of Starline as he swaps to Speed Core. But Starline goes his way, and Surge and Kit go their own. Surge kind of, momentarily placated for now. And Surge and Kit come across some badniks. And Kit tells Surge, Badnik Patrol, let's take this detour and... But Surge just goes for it, attacking the badniks. And Kit calls, no, wait. Yeah, that's going to be bad. She destroys the badniks real easily, but that might alert Eggman to what they're up to. And Kit just sort of gets on to her. We're not supposed to raise any alarms. And Surge tells him they can't make a fuss if they're dust. But Dr. Starline's orders were... and Surge tells him, he ain't the boss of me. He's tech support and the idea guy. And idea guys are a dime a dozen. That's not how that phrase goes. As Kit corrects her, it's a dime a dozen. Also, do they have dimes in Sonic's world? That's something that's very much not the question being raised here, but it is the question I'm thinking about nonetheless. Do they have dimes in Sonic's world? But anyway, Surge goes on the attack on Kit, poking him in the chest. I do things my way, my own way. You follow me. It's simple and it works. Now let's get to that tower already. Might as well do this stupid plan while we're here. And Kit kind of lightens up at that. Yes, ma'am. And then we see... okay, so we see Starline. He's using some tool to, I think short circuit this egg pawn, allowing him to just walk right on by. Short range and single target verified. Now for the hard part. And he walks into, he's at the, what tower was this again? He's at the Western Control Tower. He walks into a room listed as just Egg Cave. And Starline sees that, and he allows himself, I'm ahead of schedule. I can afford a small detour. Oh, this is going to be like having some of Eggman's special gadgets, isn't it? I can see, though, that kind of ending up dooming Starline. We really saw last issue, and, throughout the Metal Virus saga, especially, and also in last issue more recently, Starline doesn't quite see his flaws, but they're definitely there. He's very sort of... He's hubristic in a lot of the same ways Eggman is, sort of assuming nothing will go wrong, as we saw when he summoned the Zeddies, and as we're seeing as he's just sort of keeps using Surge and Kit, even though they're like a ticking time bomb to betray him, and as he's sort of ignoring the mission for a minute to go check out this egg cave. But we'll see how that plays out later, as we check back in on Surge and Kit. And Surge asks, "This is the target?" "Yes. I will disable the outgoing communications. How long is that going to take? A few minutes?" And Surge just bumps her fists together, ready to go. "Or I can knock it down in a few seconds." And Kit protects. No. Then Eggman will know we were here. "So, bring him on. I'll bury him next to Sonic. And Kit tries to push back, but the plan. What is it with you and plans? It's what I do. Which is an interesting thing. Because that line there kind of reminds me of last issue, where Kit sort of failed to figure out why he cared so much about serving Surge. It's a different set of circumstances and a different word choice, but it's that same sort of I am who I am and there's no reason for it. This is how I was programmed, even if Kit isn't quite reaching that conclusion yet. Anyway, they then hear this thud, thud, thud as this giant Eggman robot comes to attack them. And Surge is ready for a fight. I take it all back. You do the boring nerd stuff. I'll provide cover. And Kit runs, yes ma'am. And Surge jumps out of the way of the robot's giant mace. Woo-ha-ha! And she's just running around the guy. This way, I don't want you distracting the kid. And then the robot just leaps and lands right in front of Surge. And then, so I think Surge dashes underneath it and behind it. The robot tries to smash Surge, but she dodges. And Surge, she's sort of frustrated with herself for not easily destroying this. Get it together, Surge. Sonic will be running rings around this thing. You're better than him! And she runs at the robot, and using her, enhanced lightning, and her spin dash, she just starts to, I think, short-circuit, the robot. We then cut to Kit, who's sort of working on his own mission. Hurry, hurry, hurry! And he finishes. There! Done! Get back to Surge. Support Surge. Be with Surge. That also kind of feels like he's just running through his core programming and without really any genuine motivation for being with Surge. You know, like he has to tell himself who he is, because if he doesn't do that, then he's not who he's supposed to be, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Anyway, Kit arrives to Surge just whamming into the bot with her lightning spin dash over and over again. You see the hand start to get kind of beat up. The hand of the bot, I mean. Hold on, I did something wrong there. Never mind. And then she does what looks like one final attack on the bot. It falls over. And Surge taunts, ha ha ha, what you got, huh? Huh? And that's when while Surge is gloating, Kit chimes in, I'm here to help. And Surge just snaps back, you mean kill the mood? I've got it on the ropes, it can't even. And then the bot has this sort of look of triumph. And he raises up his flail and slams it down on Surge. Kit calls, Surge! And then we come back to Starline. Oh, to go back to that simpler time, it wasn't really that long ago, and yet it feels like it's been a lifetime. And we're reminded of the 2020 annual. And I do have I actually have a vague memory of Starline in a room like this. I forget the exact, now the annual has been brought up, though I don't quite recall the context there. Back when I was still enamored with the spectacle, a naive admirer of a brilliant but flawed man. Which, of course, there's the added irony of Starline also being pretty terribly flawed. Even in the context of, the evil genius. And he sees, Eggman action figure, and then he sees his own action figure. I forget, again, it's been too long since I read that annual. It's been a good year and a half since then. And I don't quite recall the context of the Starline doll, but he just snatches it off the wall and tosses Eggman aside and thinks, the veil has been lifted from my eyes. I will supplant the doctor and prove my method superior. Once he has seen the error of his ways, I will welcome him back to my side, and we can rule this world together. Okay. So as I recall, I always had the impression in the past that, even in Starline's wildest imaginings, he still saw himself as, he'll teach Eggman and then go back to being the subordinate. Now he sees himself as a potential equal to Eggman, which I think is an important sort of change in that dynamic. Something to keep track of going forward. Anyway, we come back to Kit, who's still fighting the robot. calls it, "Get back!" And then he spawns his, like, water tails around the flail that hit Surge. And lifts it up. "Stay away from her!" And he throws it back at the robot. Okay. So if he just destroyed that robot, given how Surge is, I suspect there'll be some sort of bad blood for, like, stealing her thunder or something. And anyway, Kit goes to deal with, like, the rubble that Surge is under. Surge, don't move your... and Kit looks her over. Not hurt at all? We see her clothes are kind of torn, but the rest of her, she's kind of dirty, but beyond that, she seems fine. Hold that thought. And then she gets up, and we see that lightning again. And the robot that's, like, has a hole in the middle, but is still kind of coming at them. And Surge goes to, I think, spin dash into the hole that Kit made. And then wreak mass havoc from the inside, pops up from the robot's head as it just crashes down. And Surge just, like, stomps on it, kind of angry now. "That's what you get! See what happens when you mess with the best? Huh? And Kit sort of stops her. "Ma'am? What?" The fight alerted the others. And we see they're now surrounded by badniks. Hopefully that have not sent out any warning signs to old Eggman. But yeah, they're kind of surrounded, and Surge tells him, "Fine, I've had my warm-up. Watch my back while I take out the first half." "Yes, ma'am." And we just see the badniks. Oh, they start clapping. Shocking Surge and Kit. What the? And one of them reports, "Excellent work. Mission accomplished." And we see Starline did actually, his detour to the egg cave was not too bad for his goals. He was still able to, like, do his job. This base and all of its badniks now serve me. Join me in the control room, won't you? And then soon they made it to the control room. The egg pawns are, like, bowing to them. Surge notes, "Flippin' weird." And Starline declares, "Top marks for everyone. My override program is a success. No alarms were triggered. The plan went flawlessly. We may now finally begin my master plan." And Surge and Kit, like, spend a bit of time laughing at Starline's theatrics. I will say though, let me go back to that earlier scene where they were discussing the plan. Because hold on, were they trying to get was what Kit did the entire, like, was Kit's little how does he put it? Disable the outcome. Was that I think that actually might have been the entire extent of their role in the plan, actually. For some reason, I thought they were just, like, disabling one layer of communications until they went inside the tower itself to deal with things more directly, kind of similar to what Starline was doing going into his base, or his particular building, I mean. But no, I guess what Kit did was that their entire part of the mission. Anyway, Starline turns to them. Let me read his other line again. "We may now finally begin my master plan. After a wardrobe change, what happened to you?" And he knows, Surge's torn up outfit. And Kit sort of, dithers. "Well, Surge was," and Surge brushes it off, "a little careless. So sue me. The kid was a big help. It's all good, Doc." There is something odd going on with Surge here. She's awfully nice. Like, she's hiding something from Kit, or from Starline. And Starline, who is instantly suspicious, just questions, "Are you sure?" And Surge goes on, listen to this guy. "Just savor the victory, you killjoy." And she gives Starline, like, a noogie, shocking both Starline and Kit. And Kit picks himself back up, kind of angry. "Yes, well, I will oversee cleanup to ensure Dr. Eggman doesn't find any evidence before we make our move. Dismissed." And Kit sort of is just kind of confused. And Surge pushes him out of the room. "Shut it. Let the busy man do his busy work." And they get into the elevator, look around. I think we're going to find out what exactly was going on with Surge just now. See any camera? Detect any hidden mics? No? Anyway, Kit goes on, "That hit should have killed you. We should tell the doctors we can make sure you're okay." Oh, they think they're alive. Right. I should have realized that earlier, last issue, when Starline was talking about giving them a backstory. They think they're organic creatures. But Surge protests, we're not telling him anything. But he enhanced us. He'd know, and, excuse me. Surge stops him. Yeah? Enhanced us how? What exactly did he do? And Kit kind of realizes, I don't know. Uh-huh. We know a lot of what, but not a lot of why. My own thoughts aren't adding up. I know the doc is the center of it. I'm going to need your help to sort this out. I can count on you, right? Yes, ma'am. Always. Anything. Where do we start? And Surge tells him, Starline needs to hear himself talk. We find his records, we find out what he did to us. And then we make him hurt for it. Next time, the shocking truth. That's not so shocking given that we, know what the truth is, but okay. I'll allow it. Okay. So, I'm going to talk once more about Starline can't see his own flaws. Even when he's, ruthlessly criticizing Eggman's flaws, he can't really see what he's doing wrong here. And, wasn't it the same thing with the video recordings that fucked him over with Mimic during Bad Guys? Surge has every plan to do the exact same thing to fuck him over now. So, Starline is not really learning from his mistakes. And I do think when he inevitably ends up failing by the end of this arc, that might be the time Starline does sort of start to learn that he is not the expert he thinks Eggman needs. He's just some punk kid, for lack of a better term. But anyway, there's a lot of fun stuff here that we can really dig into. So it's largely dedicated to a pretty standard or a pretty, trying to find the right way to phrase this, pretty simple attack of the base sort of mission. There's a few bits of plot setup or foreshadowing or character beats to really work through, largely from Surge and Kit, of course. But also a good chunk of this chapter is just, Surge and Kit fight some robots. We also get a little bit of Starline with him in the egg cave, as he's sort of, reminiscing about who he used to be and, commenting on his own perceived growth. Though, as I've been saying, he's, not exactly as mature, for lack of a better term, as he thinks he is. But yeah, the real thing is Surge has realized that, even as cool as she is, getting hit with that flail and covered in rocks, she should at least be injured, if not dead. And the fact that she's not means that something is going on. And that means Starline can't quite be trusted. Which is much smarter than what she did last time she realized something wasn't quite right and just asked Starline directly. Which calls into question, does she have some kind of subliminal memories of the things that Starline wiped from her memory? Because she kind of seems to. She seems to or she at least is not making the mistakes her past self made. So maybe she is. But either way, Sturge knows something's up. She doesn't quite know what's up, but she definitely knows that something is up, and it's up to her to get to the bottom of it. So I think that's where we're going to leave off here. I'm going to leave this video up here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or do whatever made you happy. Whatever makes you happy. I know verb tenses. And as always, your life is your own. Okay, bye.